So I think if you're almost there, like, just keep going. If you have you're working your plan, you're doing what you set out to do, I believe it will come. And you have to have the belief as well.
Yeah.
So those two things, like, just take that crazy a little bit further. That was my workshop, was the White House. And the chance of you getting selected is very, very low. And then actually out of all of them selected, there were 4 of us that were actually florists that were selected for this. And so that was probably like a pinch me moment. I was there for 10 days and just that was my workshop, was the White House so it was pretty cool.
What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here, Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, here with another episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills. I've got a very special guest here with me, Sara Larson with Wild and Blooming, and she's over here on Westport Drive. Sara, thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate it. So, hey, I don't really want to wait any longer. I want to just get started into it, right? So tell me a little bit about Wild and Blooming and how you guys got started here.
Well, thank you for having me on your podcast today. This is awesome. Hello, YouTubers out there. I have to be on a camera, so thanks for that.
Yeah.
And so Wild and Blooming actually got started in 2021. I was a new mom and married to my ranch and farmer husband out in northern Riley County, and had left the corporate world and wanted to do something, which I love my daughter dearly, but I needed a little bit more for myself to have an outlet, essentially, beyond the walls of motherhood. So I started my floral business by just going to the bridal show, which is actually coming up here in a little bit, and really started just taking weddings, and we were doing great. Hired a couple people to just help me at the larger events that I was getting, and just started doing that. We found ourselves getting more clients beyond weddings, so more events around town as well, and got a location over in Candlewood actually to start with, and then wanted to get a little bit more Main Street, so we moved downtown to around the 4th and Points area. And we quickly outgrew that space in the last year, and we're actually sitting in our new space. I know you all can't see it because we have our bridal show display behind us actually, but we're able to purchase this building here over on Westport Drive. So this is our new and forever home. I am not wanting to move again. Moving a floral shop with all of the coolers and rental items has been quite the organization challenge. So we're getting settled in, and we're over here off of Westport Drive now. So we have been loving the space. We're able to kind of expand what we're doing, do more events every week. And yeah, that's how we got started.
No, I love that. And I love how you started and kind of slowly grew it and kind of became that way and didn't become too big too fast kind of thing. I think that's a lot of, obviously as business owners, we always want to grow fast, right? But also doing it on a steady pace makes it very important too. So I love that. And you decided to stick around in the Manhattan area too. So that's obviously great too. So,
yes.
All right. So talk to us a little bit what you guys offer here. Obviously the bridal show, you're doing events, you're doing that stuff, but you guys kind of a little bit of difference. You were starting to tell me about it off camera of the design and floral events and things like that. Talk to us a little bit about what that looks like.
Sure. So floral is always leading the way with us and what we do, but we also we're just not the typical florist. So we look at an event coming from like my Disney background and really pulling off holistic events. I look at the whole event. So what does your tables look like? What are other elements looking like here as well? So we look at the whole event and then make our recommendations and style choices from there. And we also offer a variety of products just beyond the typical florist that you will as well. So we have a full line of rentals. We work with a linen partner. We have all kinds of different options for our clients too. So it's more of like a one-stop shop instead of having to go and kind of piecemeal different parts and pieces of your event in. And we also offer the balloon installations, custom balloons, balloon garlands, things like that as well. So it's more of a whole like event design company with the floral leading the way.
So, Sara, there's obviously a lot of different ways that you can go about things, right? And every florist is a little bit different. So I would love to hear what Wild and Blooming, your style, your aesthetic, what that process looks like for you and how that works for your people.
Sure. So our aesthetic, there's obviously various design styles and things within the floral world. Ours is going to be more based like off of a French style, with a lot of like compact blooms in there, and using various palettes. We've really gotten into like color blocking and things lately as well with our styles, but it's going to be based more off of that, more of like that French style. I really got inspired. I went to France a couple years ago. Love their aesthetic, but I also continually go to I call them flower camps. There's no real school. There are a couple programs around the country that do floral, but it's more trial by error and designing and figuring out what works for you. We also have a couple other designers here on staff. We have about 10 people that we call in. There's about 4 to 5 consistently that we have here as well. And we all do things a little bit different, but that overall look and feel, you'll know it's one of our pieces. It's more floral heavy, as the way we like to stay right on trend too. So I'm constantly have myself, our staff, they're in their early 20-somethings. Those are our brides getting married too. So we're trying to align what's in trend off of TikTok, off of social media, also what's coming up as well. So I try to go to do continuing education outside. I've gone to different places like in North Carolina. There are courses and how to do some of the really cool installations and things as well. Sure. We really try to stay on top of what's hot in the market, and we're going to make our recommendations off of that. But if someone really wants like a Japanese style called ikebana, we have the tools, we know how to do it, so we're well versed in that as well.
Yeah, that's where you'd come in for me, because I have no idea where any of that comes into play. So that's wild, though. I would never have thought, I mean, it makes sense, but I would never have thought that there'd be like a continuing education or something for floral and all that stuff. So I love that you guys are taking the initiative to do that and kind of go through that one. So actually goes into a next one, but your process, right? We just had somebody walk in the door looking for cards and stuff that way, just kind of the initial introduction to Wild and Blooming. What does that process look like from very beginning to at the wedding day or at the day of event, whatever that looks like? What does your process look like for each client?
Sure. So our process begins with an inquiry. So we either get them from someone reaching out on any of the platforms, our website, social media, and then everything's digital for us. We have you go through and fill out our intake form, essentially. So we have a good idea when we do sit down for a consultation, and we make every person go through a consultation with us, just so that we know exactly what we're trying to achieve with your wedding or your event. Because we do actually do a lot of corporate events, a lot with the university right next door here, whether it be President's Office, Foundation, Athletics. We want to make sure that we are capturing all those little details, because the details are what matter and make the difference in events as well. So we send you the intake form, you fill it out, and then we schedule a time to meet. We actually do a lot of things on Zoom or Google Meet. A lot of our weddings and meetings happen that way, or in person if you're here locally as well. So you can touch and feel like all of our rental items, see them as well. But we go through that process, and then from there we write a proposal for our client, and that's going to encompass a whole look, essentially. So we will go to your venue if they're wanting something that maybe is not typically done there. We will go take pictures. Our team will essentially draw out what that looks like. We put together like a portfolio or a composite of the types of floral, because I may say something and you just won't even know what type of flower that is. So we put together a whole guide on what floral we would be using to achieve your look, and then go through all of the pricing as well. So our team is recipe writing as we're building these proposals too, so that we're getting you that most accurate pricing. The different thing about floral is that it's market pricing. So what we're quoting today, but we do have a good idea of like what a median is, high, low. We're going to be quoting kind of in that middle. And then from there, everything once again is digital. You like what you see. Of course, our clients ask any questions they'd want, then we get a contract and then a retainer to hold the day, and we're off and running. And then depending on how much time, a lot of times, weddings are booking out, but if it's an event that's coming right up, we'll get that process going of ordering, because as we all know, things are taking a little bit longer these days to procure and get in. So we're getting all of the parts and pieces in for your event. We're taking care of all of that. And then if your event is, say, in a year from now, let's say it's a 50th birthday party that we're doing for you, we're going to reach out at a 6-week checkpoint. And at that 6 week, we're going to go over everything. And we know some things may not be firmed up yet. By 4 weeks, we have to have everything solid and complete, such as like if you're waiting for RSVPs to come back, etc. But we also are pretty agile and can do things on the fly too. We've had large events kind of pop up on us where we're needing to do something for 300 people within a week and a half, to very intimate things that, hey, we're getting calls the day of or the day before. So with us having also our in-house, our own in-house rentals, we have that flexibility to be able to go at a moment's notice. And if we don't have it, we've built the relationships with vendors from here up to Marysville, Wichita, Kansas City, Topeka, and we know who has what and can get it to us very quickly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So realistically, though, you're looking for 4 to 6 weeks is kind of what you want to know, some heads up wise, if possible.
It would be nice.
Day of, maybe. Yeah. That's awesome. I would never have guessed that you could get that fast of a turnaround. Question just popped in my head, and to be clear, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But what does that process look like for you on like flowers, right? Like you've got quite a arrangement of flowers in here today, but those all have a shelf life, right? So how are you keeping those in stock? Or obviously you're not going to keep a lot in stock, but all that, does that question kind of make sense of what I'm trying to ask? Like, where does all that come from?
So for event specific, we're getting those in here. Like we got all of this floral in here for our display that is happening at the bridal show. So we'll get those in the week, Tuesday, Wednesday of that wedding. So we get them, they're the freshest as they can be. But we do either carry over some floral, or we're getting a little bit of floral to keep in if somebody walks in and would like a bouquet. We do make those also on the spot. We also do, if you have a birthday anniversary coming up, we work with different wholesalers. So people ask us often where we get our flowers from. We try to use local flower farmers, but there's really only a couple left in the area. And they have a short season, right? Because you can only go floral so many months of the year here. And a lot of times our weddings or events are the size that we would just take an entire crop out of a local flower farmer. And so we utilize our different wholesaling networks. And we have a couple that they'll deliver every day if we need them to. Okay. And so we've forged those relationships. And so if you would like an anniversary bouquet, give us a call. I mean, a week out heads up is great. But if you forgot and it's the day of or day before, we always have something in stock. We always keep our K-State colors generally in stock, especially if the university needs something very quickly. Or we keep a dark purple, a lavender, and we have got these purples down in this town. A lot of times in floral, you order something that's purple, it's more of a cool tone that's pulling blue. Yeah. We know it plays well together, so we tend to keep those items in stock all of the time. With certain varieties, we know will stay in that cooler for quite a while. So we can make a few phone calls and get things here very quickly. I have also, if say it's too late and it is a very important client and they really want it, I will get in my car, drop my daughter off at daycare, head to Kansas City and then come right back. So we have done that as well.
So Sarah, you've been in the community now for a little while. Wild and Blooming has been blooming. It's been growing. It's been kind of going through a lot of stuff here. How has community support been good for you? And then how have you been able to give back to the community as well? I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you have there.
Sure. So the community has definitely been supporting us by way of booking events, weddings, coming and just grabbing a bouquet. I had my chief of staff count up, and this past year for 25, we did 100 weddings and events in Manhattan. And so a pretty good scale. Like, it just can't be like, I'm going to come get a rose from you. Like, it has to I had qualifiers for that as well, which is great and a ton of fun. But we've also find it important. We believe in giving back, and also we need to support our community as well. We know there's a lot of great organizations. We can't support them all, but ones that really speak to our hearts and really make an impact for various individuals around. So just like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, we help the team out there. They have a theme. We come up with some different fun centerpieces. We kind of let them have at our rentals section, what they're trying to do to really better our community. Because if we don't support different organizations that are going to make an impact on children, that are going to make an impact on families, then we need to just do that for ourselves, because if we don't do it, nobody else will, essentially. So we have a real passion about that too. So Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Girls on the Run, we did a really fun luncheon for them where we actually just got old tennis shoes from their team, and then I hand painted all of them and then put floral coming out of it. And we just had a lot of fun with that to help really also be with their mission. And they do great work for young women in the community, to like the cat backers, to hosting various FFA groups with the young budding florists. So teaching them and talking with them about like our actual business, but also some different designs. And just like Blue Valley up in Randolph, where I live actually, up in that area, their floriculture class, they have a phenomenal instructor, Allison up there, but they are now doing some bouquets for the community up there, and then doing different offerings. So it's giving them real world experience, and really having some of their students come in and like intern or shadow us for a couple events, so they get hands-on experience too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. I love that you're able to do that too. And that's just going from what you said, right? Being a just rancher's wife and mom to now becoming and giving back, being able to give that to the community. I love that fact for you. So my next one, as we're at the beginning of 26, you've talked about doing 100 weddings and events, which again, congratulations. That's fantastic. I'm sure it was a lot of work, but
I feel it.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. 2 a week, like that's crazy. That is crazy. So, what types of events and parties and things like that are you looking to do and book for the year coming up and in the future?
Sure. So we've obviously kind of made our mark on the wedding industry here, and some larger events with some like gala type of things with nonprofits. But we're also looking to kind of get doing some more like intimate events, whether it be at someone's home or like a private event that you're having for, 50 people for that special like 50th wedding anniversary or what have you. So more of those like private and intimate events. We love doing like tablescaping, and we've worked within a lot of different parameters of room sizes and different effects on there too. We also have our porch program that I'm ready. We did a couple of them this Christmas, and really taking that into like over the like spring, summer, fall, but being able to have decorate people's porches with their pots and showing them how to do that. So like the porch pumpkins were a big thing this past year, and kind of, we see these things in larger cities, and there's no reason that we can't have them here in Manhattan. So some of those programs, we're also launching our bouquet subscriptions that are going to be coming out. So if you want regular bouquets, for like yourself or your business, we do that. We also have been working with a couple different companies in town to do employee programs. So on the year anniversary or their work anniversary with their company, we deliver a bouquet. So you just give us the list, and we deliver the floral, and we auto bill for those flowers. So pretty much hands off, and you look like a star, and we take care of the rest.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I might have talked to you on that one.
Yep.
So you've talked a lot off camera, and I'm most excited about this because you've talked a lot about this off camera here, and what have been some of the most unique and interesting things that you've been able to do with Wild and Blooming, and things that you've got coming up too.
So we've had a lot of very fun opportunities through the past couple years. Last year in 2024, I was blessed to get selected to decorate the White House for Christmas, which was, I thought it was going to be a few more years down the road, because there's actually someone there decorating with me who she had applied for 17 years. And the chance of you getting selected is very, very low. And then actually out of all of them selected, there were 4 of us that were actually florists that were selected for this. And so that was probably like a pinch me moment. I was there for 10 days, and just getting to, that was my workshop, was the White House and so it was pretty cool. I've got to also work, I'm involved in some different lineage organizations, the Daughters of the American Revolution. I've decorated their building, which is also very historic and just catty corner from the White House, for Christmas, where I did the President General's Christmas tree there a couple years ago. And then we did a project with them actually where they wanted to bring back orchid corsage wearing, which used to be very popular and in vogue. And so we helped them bring that back this year, where we made 865 orchid corsages in 3 days in the bottom of the JW Marriott on Pennsylvania Avenue. So I set up a pop-up shop and a couple hotel banquet rooms, and worked with logistics with floral wholesalers there, with refrigeration companies, all of that to pull that off. And we're going back because we just had so much fun this past year to do it again. A lot of lessons learned, but where we did actually the whole process of building the website for them, people went on and ordered. So we did everything from soup to nuts for that program. And then coming up this year, here at the end of February, beginning of March, I have been asked to be part of the Philadelphia Flower Show, which, for those that don't know, there's a couple flower shows in the world that are quite get a lot of notoriety. The Chelsea Flower Show over in London, which happens in the summertime. So that one happened, and then the Philadelphia Flower Show is pretty much number 2 in the world, and it's a 197-year-old flower show. So it's been going on for quite a while, and I have been asked to be a part of that, and with a gentleman who I have worked on some different fun projects as well with, and so that's going to be quite the adventure. And been getting to work with, it ties into America 250, so part of that history, and we've been working with First Families on this one as well. So stay tuned, because it will be quite the display.
That is amazing. I'm so excited for you. Like, that's so cool to be able to do that kind of stuff. Chelsea's on the board too, though, right? Like, that's a goal,
yes,
right? Yes. All right, good. I feel like it has to be.
I have some really interesting ones on the board, and my husband's like, okay, I mean, nothing's really off the table at this point. So
yeah, no, I love it. I feel like Chelsea has to be at that point, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. That's a pretty cool honor to have. So before we kind of tie everything up, I want to give you the opportunity. Obviously, we've talked about you being over here in Westport. Anybody watching this video, or anybody just kind of checking out things, how do they get a hold of you? How do they book a time to do your initial consultation, all that kind of stuff? Phone number, email, website, whatever it may be. I want to give you that opportunity there.
Sure. So we have our website, wildblooming.com, and you can just go on there and hit the contact us, and you can just fill out a short form. Just it gives us the nuts and bolts of what you're looking for: a wedding, a corporate event, anything like that. So wildblooming.com, and it emails straight to our inbox. Our email for all of our inquiries goes to designer@wildblooming.com. And then we're also on Instagram, on Facebook. So you can find us there at Wild and Blooming KS on that one. So we try to stay up to time on all of our social medias. We have had somebody come in and they're going to be taking over the social media because they could probably do a much better job. I can focus on design and floral. So, yep, but you can find us all those. And then we're over here off of Westport Drive, right behind the Frisian Taco Bell. Most people know where that is, right? A very, very good landmark. So thanks, Kevin, for being next door. We're working on some stuff with him, too. Over at the fridge. And then you can always give us a call. We're here most of the time. We don't necessarily have set hours, but you can just walk in and we're here happy to help you too. So you can give us a call at 785-775-5222.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So real quick, I love asking this question. We get a lot of people that are entrepreneurs that watch this or aspiring want to be entrepreneurs and things. So what is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who's either starting, struggling, or wanting to keep going or trying to make that decision, right? What's one piece of advice that you would give to that particular entrepreneur?
I'm going to kind of target those people that are like in the thick of it. They've started it. And sometimes I have to take my own advice, like just keep going, because I've read a lot of books and about business and read a lot of magazines, read a lot of different articles and things. And it's at the point when you're ready to just give up, whether it be because of financing, lack of time, you're just burned out because you just have exuberated all of your energy. Just take it a little bit further and you're almost there. Because I think we've all hit that wall as an entrepreneur. And if you haven't, I don't know if you're doing it right. So I think if you're almost there, like just keep going. If you have you're working your plan, you're doing what you set out to do, I believe it will come. And you have to have the belief as well. Yeah. So those two things, like just take that crazy a little bit further.
No, I love it. And it's so true, though. I mean, I hear it. I do these a lot, and I hear that's a very common one that comes up. So it's so, so true. Okay, before we wrap up, anything else you want to add to the video?
I think that's it.
Perfect. So, Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And for you that's still watching, I want to say thank you again for staying with us for this long. You guys, what I will tell you is I've had a lot of conversation now today with Sarah off camera, and hearing her story and hearing what she's gone through and hearing the things that she's achieving. I mean, just like the #2 flower show in the world, like that's a fantastic opportunity to be able to do that, and working with the first families and doing that stuff. Like that's such a cool thing. And her shop's right here in Manhattan. And that's the beauty of it, right? So come in, take a look at what Wild and Blooming is, see what they do, see that you're gonna be at the bridal show, or around at all kinds of events in the area. Talk to Sarah, reach out to her designers, reach out to her, and just kind of see what she can do for your event, and just kind of see what they have. Because again, I promise you won't be disappointed. And just come in if you want to just have a good story, because Sarah's story is fantastic. I'm sorry, I just keep pushing that out there. I love your story though. But yeah, so come on in, say hi to Sarah, take a look at what Wild and Blooming has to offer for you and your event. But don't forget to come on and say hi and just kind of see what they have to bring in for you guys. But until next time, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you, Sarah, so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. We'll see you guys later.